Hello! Thank you for tuning in to this week's read. For this week's read, I'm using the Thelema Tarot. Thelema Tarot by Renata Lechner. Where is that? There's that. Hopefully you can see it. The website is at the bottom here. I think it's Los Garibos. Feel free to freeze frame on that if you want that information. Supportive Oracle cards. Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. Illustrated by Jesse Reish. And then there's the website at the bottom. I want to say this one's a Hay House one. I don't remember. Is it Hay House? Yep, hayhouse.com. There at the bottom if you're interested. Hopefully that's focusing. Now that I think of it. And for the dice I'm using, the dice shop, and you go to, I think it's Math Art Fun. Hopefully you can see that too. mathartfun.com. I use a 22-sided dice for the major arcana. I substitute 22 for 0 for the fool. I use a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and then I use a 4-sided dice to choose the element that matches up with the minor arcana. Anything else? No. Alright, so if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for tuning in, and let's get on to your reading. Hello, Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Gemini? Let's get them all down before we get too excited. Okay. We have a very strong start. Things seem to be happening in phases on this one. So, it's a subject, whatever this is a subject that you return to every once in a while. It's something you want, but maybe don't go too far with, or haven't yet. Or, if there's another version, maybe you haven't finished off this subject yet. There's something you like, but I just feel like I do it for a while, that for some reason things change and I don't do it. And then it comes back, and I do a little bit more, and then things change and I don't do it. And this is something that keeps returning, but it's something that I feel like you very much like. In fact, when you were younger, maybe you wanted to do it a lot more than you were able to for whatever reason. So this is something that's returning. And I get like you have a very good foundation with it. Like you know a lot about this situation. The challenge is finding compatible people, I feel. Finding compatible connections to this situation. It could be people, could be a situation like the opportunity isn't always there. So if I was going to like use, for example, maybe it's like doing home improvements or something. Maybe it's something you've done some of when you were younger, and then you've kind of done what you needed to do, and then it was done, so you just didn't do any more of it. Or you had to do other things, and then maybe you moved places and you did it a little bit again, and like it's something like that. It didn't have to be exact, but it's something where you keep returning to it, and you've only gone so far with it, but maybe every time you do it, you push it a little bit farther, and you have a wealth of knowledge on this. People may have no idea how much you actually know about this situation. Not for lack of trying, whatever that means, but it's coming in again, whatever this is. Okay, that's fine. When it shows up this time, though, it's very 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other. Because I get that I can definitely do it again. I can make a lot happen. This can be a really good thing for me. But I also am in complete control of it, which for some of you, I feel like you do not want. Your connection to it this time is more, you have to do it. And the question is, do you believe in yourself enough to stick with it? It's not just about starting it, but it's about sticking with it this time. There's a little bit different flavor to it, and there's a little bit different level of risk. I can take this to the next level, but it's on me, and I have to make it happen. Which, that might not be what's holding some of you back, because I know there's another version of this, so I'm just trying to wait for it to show up. Queen of Swords and the Justice card. You will definitely have to be in control of this. But it's not just, for some of you, it's not just being in control of it. I have to, like, police it a little bit, or I have to, like, maintain it. I have to watch the boundaries. I have to keep control of it. It's not just about moving it forward. It's about keeping my eye on it and making sure it stays where it's supposed to stay. Because there's a lot of things that can go on here. And I feel like I might even add myself in as one of those factors, because it's like, if I want this to be successful, I have to keep it in these borders. And I know that. And I know that I also would like to go outside of these borders, but I have to be very careful and selective if and when I do that. I can't stray too far. There's a lot of things going on here where it's like, I could make this work, but I'm also like, I have to also restrict myself and be responsible. Only me can do that. Only me can be this person. And it's kind of like, I know how my tendencies are. It's kind of like, ooh, bird, I want to follow the bird. Can't do that. And it's the way it's going right now, I'm just kind of watching this opportunity, and I am also at the moment, like, I see that I want it, but I'm also noticing that I'm kind of letting it slip past myself. I feel like that's kind of like the Three of Swords. It's kind of like, this opportunity is here. It's not going to stay forever. And I'm also kind of slowly watching it pass by me. So I kind of need to make a decision soon if I'm going to do this or not. Things are in a good position now to make this to my advantage. Right now is a good moment. There is success here, and I feel like I know that. But I have to jump forward. And I have the knowledge to do it, but it's like, am I going to do this? Do I want to do this? Because it's kind of like, even if I feel like I can make all this work out, am I going to get so far down the road, and am I going to feel like this became more of a job than a love? I used to love it, but now I do it for a job, and now it's like it kind of took the love out of it. I'm worried about that a little bit too. I can definitely make this happen though. So the question is, will you jump forward? The time is now to do it. Again, you have the intelligence, you have the backing, you have the knowledge, you know what this is made of. You could definitely do it. Will you jump forward? I feel like that's what this reading is kind of saying. It's like, this is kind of like that, I don't want to say kick in the pants, but it kind of sounds like it. It's like, okay, if you're going to jump, jump. This is the moment. Otherwise, accept that you're not going to do this for now and put your energy somewhere else. Especially with the Emperor here is very kind of like very bold and to the point. If you're going to jump forward, now's the time. If you're not going to jump forward, then put your energy somewhere else so it benefits you. Otherwise, this is just going to be a dream that just floated in your head and never became anything. That's fine if you decide this isn't for you, but it's like, if you're going to do it, jump now. If you're not, put your energy somewhere else. That's it feels very bold like that, but that's how this is feeling. Because the energy is here to back you up. The situation you'll be very self-sufficient. You will make this work. And will it always be fun? Not always, but it'll be fun enough. The glamour energy is like, people won't know like the strength you have to make this work, but they don't need to. Can we get a little bit more about this card? Because I need to understand what's going on there. Still rolling. Queen of Swords again, and the Devil card. You will come across challenges, but you will successfully get past these challenges. This feels like what is that? A wave sign that it goes up and down, and when it's good, it's going to be good for a while. When it goes bad, it'll be bad for a while. But it'll keep returning. It doesn't stay in one spot or the other. The work and the pleasure balance each other off. Like whatever it is whatever you consider work to the situation, you'll do that. It'll take some time, but then you'll hit the pleasure moments, then you'll hit the work moments, then you'll hit the pleasure moments. It has this like back and forth energy to it. That does seem to be also a factor to this. Will it always be fun? No. But will it always be hard? No. So it does seem to have this balance going back and forth, back and forth. There does seem to be some people who do not want to see you succeed in this arena. Is there a reason for that? Other than, like, alright. There are people here who do not want to see you succeed in this arena, but, like, it seems like there's something with that. They don't seem to think you can do it, but they also want you to do stuff for them. So the fact that you're doing it, I feel like there might be this energy of kind of like, you know, I don't have friends like this around me anymore, but at one point I did, and there's some... Anyway, I'm going to explain the behavior and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. They like you, they're really easy to get along, but once they think that you're pulling ahead in life, in some version, all of a sudden they get hard to deal with. All of a sudden they start pointing out everything about you that they don't like. All of a sudden they get very difficult. It's kind of like, as long as they think of themselves above you, then they love you to bits, because they always see themselves up here. It doesn't mean that's ever the actual case, but that's how they see themselves. When you start pulling ahead in their mind, then they, all of a sudden, they like to point out everything they don't like about you. This is a person, who, if you're noticing a person or people like this in your life, that's a toxic energy. That's not good to have around you, because that means they're viewing you like below them normally. That's not okay. You know what I mean? I don't know that energy is something that you're reciprocating. You're probably not. It's probably not even a thing for you. But if they're treating you that way, this is an energy better to let go, or at the very least don't play into. Because I feel like there's this weird energy where they're trying to discredit you or distract you. I feel like they might even be trying to sabotage you at times if they're able to, because they want to prove that they're better than you. And the way they're going to try to prove that is by having you fail. Keep that in the back of your mind. If it's happening, deal with it accordingly. But like, I feel like it'll be obvious if that's happening. That's also like an energy, like if you're noticing it, it's better to like distance yourself from it as appropriately as you can. Because I do see this distracting. What they're saying, when that happens, if that happens, self-loyalty is very important, and also realize who's loyal to you at the same time. Don't play into that energy, but like be loyal to yourself. Don't let that energy pull you down. Realize that that's wrong. Distance yourself from it. But also, people who support you, people who believe in you, remember that and stay closer to that. Stay closer to that. Honor those energies more. You know, keep an eye on those. Don't just notice what's not working. Notice what is working, and make sure you purposefully gravitate closer to it. Is that the piece? Yeah. Don't overinvest in other people's attitudes towards you. That's their problem. Let's just leave it there. I'm actually even going to push this a little further. There's a book, Paul McKenna, How to Mend Your Broken Heart. Something about broken heart in it. If you look up Paul McKenna, you'll see it. It is geared towards romantic relationships. I've used it for all different types. It will help you take that energy away from those situations and put the energy where you want it to go. It just makes it easier. I highly recommend it if you're having an issue with that. This situation, if you choose to move forward with it, it's going to take some work. It's going to take some time. But it's going to give you the things you actually want in life, is what I'm also getting. Again, I got that kind of like, I want to say cosine. That might be wrong. I don't know, this wave, I want to call it cosine, but it could be completely wrong. It's going to be like, sometimes it's a lot of work, sometimes it's a lot of joy, sometimes it's a lot of work, sometimes it's a lot of joy. It just keeps it go back and forth, back and forth. It'll be fulfilling. It'll have a nice balance. It won't always be sunshine roses, but it won't always be, rain and thunderstorms either. So keep that in mind. It's worth it. You'll have a lot of joy with this. You'll have a lot that comes out of this. It will be worth it for you. It's one of those things you'll look back on and you'll be like, it took a lot to get here, but it also gave me a lot more than I've ever had. I have a lot more happiness in my life than I've ever had. A lot more work in my life than I've ever had, but a lot more happiness in my life than I've ever had either. That's where this will go if it's worth it for you. Are we good? I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.